Okay, so this is a brief introduction into the Inform Racing Tissue Tool, where you can use the ratings from the Inform Racing race cards, rank the ratings in order of highest to lowest, depending on the number of runners in the race, and create a tissue price. And you can compare this to the forecast price, and then divide the forecast price by the tissue price to find horses which should hopefully give you a value bet. So first thing you want to do is, sometimes when you open this sheet, you will have an enable editing and enable content buttons. You just need to click depending on the security of your Excel. So what you also need to do is download the daily Excel sheet from Inform Racing once you've logged in, which gives you all of the data on the spreadsheet. And if you click the top little arrow in the corner and then copy all of that data, excuse me, and then paste this into cell A1 on the spreadsheet. Oh, hang on. Excuse me. Copy, that's it. Paste. Okay, so you've got the same information on the Tissue Tool spreadsheet. Back to the dashboard, click Get Meetings, and you'll see that today's meetings are in the list here. What you can do is you can pick one race for each meeting, or one race at a time for each meeting, or you can pick all meetings and all race times. And then you select the columns that you want to choose from the Inform Racing race cards that you think are the most important or the most valuable, or you can play around with this forever and ever and see which work out to be the best. So if we pick the average, LTO1, M&A and Master, for example. So these are our chosen columns that we'll be showing here. And then you can choose any additional fields which will show to the right here in blue, just to give you something else to look at, something else to think about, perhaps if you want some more information on the races you're looking at. So if we look at age, class and prize money and race distance, so you can pick any number, you don't have to pick any. Then you click Get Data, and the sheet is working out all the calculations. Okay, so here we are. So we've chosen average, LTO1, which is the last time out rating, M&A and the Master. All the ratings are in blue, and the rankings for each rating are in red. So the number of runners is 7, so the highest ranked horse will get a 7. Next gets 6, 5, 2 at 4, joint 4th, miss out 3, so there's 2 and 1. So 14 runners in this race, top rated at 76 in this column gets 14, and so on and so forth. We are adding the ranking calculation. So for this one, we've got 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 6 is 27. Add all these numbers together, you get 120. And then it works out the percentage for each horse of the total. So 27 is 22% of 120, which gives us a tissue price or an odds of 3.44 to 1. What you're looking for is a bigger price in the forecast decimal. This is the betting forecast in the morning. You're looking for a bigger price in this column than in our tissue price. If you divide the forecast price by the tissue price, then you get this figure here, and anything below 1 means that the decimal price is less than the tissue price. I mean, 1 is exactly the same, so the forecast is 5, our tissue price is 5. And anything over 2, well, anything over 2 is more than double. So this horse here cruising by, we think it should have an 8, should be about 8 to 1, and it's forecast at 20 to 1. I think you want to be looking at anything 1.5 or bigger in the list to give you a nice difference and to give yourself a chance of finding some value bets. The other way you could use it is to perhaps looking for lay bets, where I'm suggesting perhaps you want to look at horses that are less than 0.5. So we're suggesting this horse, Majestic Touch, should be nearly 7 to 1. It's forecast at about 11 to 4, or at 11 to 4. So it's a lot shorter than we think it should be. Anything under 0.5 at a low price are the horses you might want to be perhaps laying or later back or trading in different ways. if you've got these columns here, just quickly, the age shows you that all these horses are 2-year-olds. You might want to say, I'm not happy with betting on 2-year-old races. You might say, I prefer not to bet in races of over 2 miles. Once you've played around with all the ratings and all the fields, you might get a feel for what sort of data and statistics you use. Gives you a much better performance. So we've got the forecast price. This is our tissue price. This is the main one really, because the forecast price is just a forecast. But if you then times this, if you wanted to look at 1.5, you might want to say that you want to only bet this each horse if it's at least 1.5 times bigger than the tissue price. So what you can do is you can go to the end and find a blank column, and you can put in it equals, what would that be? These columns are going to change. That's R16 equals sum R16 times 1.5 equals 5.16. So, and then if you did want to, you can copy that all the way down the sheet. So that's giving you, this is going to give you a column which says each horse, the price, the minimum price that you want to be looking at for each horse, going by the tissue, times by 1.5. You can change that calculation to anything you want. You can make it less or more for backs or lays or whatever, but that's just another way. This is the first version. We'll hopefully be adding this column at the end to be automated, so you can choose the number you want to be multiplied and it will work it out for you. You can copy and paste all of the information onto another sheet if you want to, or you can actually copy all of the data down to the bottom of today's racing and then sort by this column to bring the higher numbers to the top. So all your numbers over 1.5 would be at the top of the list, but it might just be as easy to go through the races race by race. Okay, and then you can again just copy that and bring that down all the way to the end, so you get all of the prices you're looking for. So you can go back and you can change your columns again and it will recalculate. There's two other ways you can calculate. Add ranking, you can multiply the ranking. Once you've got your chosen set, you can do this on the fly. So that will multiply these. So you've got 7 times 7 times 7 times 6 equals 2058, and so they're bigger numbers. They might give more disparity, they might give a bigger difference, and they'll certainly give a different tissue price and a different number in the forecast divided by the tissue. Or you can add the statistics, which is actually add the ratings, which is the blue numbers. So 77 plus 82 plus 159 plus 82 is 400. And again, it's just another way of looking at it. All the stats will change. You can play around with this. You can look at different types of races. You can choose 1 or 2 or as many different ratings as you want, and just play around with this. Form, I would leave out for the moment. We need to just look at this one because form should be ranked low to high. So I would leave form out for this version until we update it. And one final thing, if you wanted to, we have the SRS ratings on the spreadsheet that you download. If you wanted to just look at the top SRS rating, you click the little box there and it just shows the highest rating for each of the one race, the top rated for each race. But that's explained on the spreadsheet when you download it. So hopefully this will give you something to play around with, something you can maybe use to find some value bets, perhaps some horses at decent prices, and placed horses, win horses, lay horses, trade them if you find a way. You could look at run style as one of your additional fields, which could show up here, and you might find a way of looking at horses that are higher or lower in the gold, that are different run styles that work out for you. So hopefully it will just give you something to play around with. We'll be updating it to add lots more in this ratings column. We'll be looking at much more form criteria, such as win percentage, place percentage, trainer win percentage in the last 14 days, jockey and trainers together, that sort of thing. So there'll be lots more that you can use to rank each criteria and give yourself an idea of a good tissue price.